Hello?
Pat.
I got all your messages last night. When I finished up an emergency, but it was too late to call. So I hoped you were asleep.
Roger half expected you to be here all night. Were you?
Oh, not quite. I had a break before it started. Went home when my aunt had arrived from Ireland. Why don't you tell me about Tom? I haven't had a chance to check his chart.
He woke up around midnight. As you expected, he's blind. Both eyes.
Well, honey, if you'd been in surgery with us, you would have expected it too. Roger was brilliant, but the growth was invasive. There's a terrific amount of pressure and swelling around the optic nerves. You're not going to know anything conclusive for a few days.
Roger's not optimistic.
Okay, but Tom's alive, and the physical cause of the aberrant behavior's been removed. That's what he wanted. Yeah, how's he taking it?
He wasn't fully conscious, so he doesn't really know yet.
How much sleep have you been getting, anyway?
Not much, but I rested.
And when are you going to get out of here?
Well, I'm all right. I'll feel a lot better when Tom's been told. And...
And?
Pat, what am I gonna do?
What are you going to do about what?
About the fact that I'm still Mrs. Thomas Desmond. My husband at the moment is physically helpless and totally dependent on me for citizenship, among other things.
Well, I'm not sure that you should do anything except wait. Wait and see how his condition develops. Remind yourself from time to time that Tom has other good friends besides yourself. You've already done more for him than anyone ever has. Tom is going to be all right.
Oh, please, dear God, please.
Now, look, can I make one suggestion?
What?
Huh?
Yeah.
Go on over to Ryan's and get yourself some breakfast. Talk to my mother. And meet my Aunt Annie.
I'm really looking forward to meeting her. Maybe I'll do that later. I want to be there when Tom wakes up. How's your aunt's physical condition?
Well, she's frightened. And she has reason to be frightened. There's a pronounced tremor in her right hand.
A stroke?
I don't think so. There's no apparent weakness. I'm going to check her into neurology this morning and do a complete workup.
Good morning.
Hi there. Good morning, darling.
Hey.
Now, don't scold me because I didn't wake you up for early mass. It was pouring rain and sleeting at 6 a.m. this morning. I didn't want to rouse you out of your nice warm bed.
I'm amazed I slept so long. It's afternoon at home, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You better come sit down quick. You've already missed breakfast and lunch.
Oh, Siobhan. Patrick wants your aunt to arrive at the hospital with an empty stomach.
No, I negotiated a single cup of tea. He's a fierce man, your brother.
Oh, geez. Now, come on, Annie. Sit down. Let somebody else do the waiting on
I
you.
will not. I'm not so far gone, but I can't put the kettle on the fire.
I don't like the idea of having to put you into a hospital and then turn it around and taking a plane to Washington.
Maeve, your son is being sworn in as a senator of the United States. Go and enjoy it.
Ah, it's just that I wish you could come with us.
And so do I. But I'm here to have the tests. And have them I will and must, so that's that.
We're not going to abandon you. Mary can't go to Washington because of her job. Jack will be here, and Patrick. And I'm taking care of Little John. So, we can have our own swearing-in party tonight at the hospital. Do you play poker?
Huh? It's a card game.
Oh, I'll play if you'll teach me.
I'll train you to be a real shark.
That's a fascinating concept. Siobhan Ryan, poker player. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning, darling. Pull up a chair, sit down.
Fascinating how? Watch, he's going to say something rotten.
Poker, you see, is a game that requires just a little self-restraint, which is not the first quality you think of when you think of...
That's going to cost you, Finelli.
Oh, dear.
Scones.
Oh, yes. I baked them for Annie this morning before I realized that she couldn't have breakfast this morning.
Ah, the test, huh?
Well, if you really want to treat, try some of that blackberry jam, which has been imported straight from Ireland for your usage.
You know, every once in a while, as a matter of fact, once a week, I remember the blackberry pie, and...
Oh, darling, don't. That's all right. Nothing happened. It's just...
Oh, Maeve, I'm so sorry.
I'll get you a fresh one.
That's all right. Oh, it's all right, Siobhan.
I forget, you see. I don't remember that I can't rely on it. Look at it. It's like something that doesn't belong to me. The more I try, the less control I have, and the more it frightens me.
What are you frightened of, Annie? Are you afraid to die, or is it something worse?
Siobhan, for heaven's sake.
No, she's right. Most of the time, I think I am going to die of it, whatever it may be. But the worst is when I consider not dying at all. But this, going on, and myself growing more and more helpless till in the end,
You'd rather be dead.
yes.
Well, that is not going to happen to you.
You seem so very sure of it.
Yes, I am, because Patrick is going to find out what is wrong.
And if he does, but for all his skill and his sweetness, can't fix it,
You'll find someone who can. When you're in trouble, Patrick is one of the best people in the world to have on your side. Am I right?
Matter of fact, you are. My bet is he'll have you back in shape for next blackberry season, and I only hope that you remember us and you make about 1,000 jars of this stuff.
Oh, I'll do the preserving, but it's up to you to come and pick the berries.
That's an invitation, I accept.
That jam I was trying to spread on the table in a most decorative and unusual way was made from berries that are grown wild now on your grandfather's farm and picked by your cousins.
My cousins?
Well, your second cousins, actually. My grandchildren, Catherine and Sean.
Show them the pictures.
Oh, to be sure. Well,
Oh, darling, they're in a great stack up on the coffee table.
Oh, right. I'll be back in a minute.
Annie, dear, I'm sorry about Siobhan. Her heart's in the right place, but sometimes she just doesn't think before she speaks.
I was grateful. A thing is less frightening when you've named it aloud. And I think Siobhan knew that. I don't believe you realize how like yourself Siobhan is.
I have to understand that in the Cleary family, the picking of the berries, that was always the business and responsibility of the children.
Your grandmother was prepared to make preserves and jams and tarts and blackberry fool.
What's blackberry fool?
Imagine. It's something like bread pudding with a lot of blackberries through it.
Well, at any rate, Ma loved to do the cooking, but she refused to pick. And that was one job we undertook willingly.
Oh, yeah.
And now the children, that is my daughter, Maggie's children, my grandchildren, Catherine and Sean. They've been brought up on stories of the old farm.
Haven't we all?
We ride out to see it once or twice a year. And they hear us talking about what we're going to do about the old place and whether or not we'll have to sell it.
For taxes.
Yeah. Maggie's husband, Red, would be quite happy to take over the place and to farm it again so they would be able to pay its own way. And I've been invited by Maggie and Red to live with them and the children there.
Ah.
But the problem is money enough to repair the buildings and to buy the equipment we'd need.
I see.
One Sunday last autumn, Catherine and Sean announced they wanted a blackberry tart. So I said, if Red would drive us out to the old place and they'd do the picking, I'd bake. So we collected your Aunt Margaret and your Uncle Tom.
Oh, there's Tom and his pipe.
Yes, and there's Red, that's Maggie's husband.
Oh, sure, I remember him.
And we turned the children loose on the blackberry bushes.
Lovely pictures, Annie. You know, granddaughter looks a little like Mary.
She does it then.
Yes,
Annie,
Yes, dear.
if you do have to sell the place, what's going to happen to it?
Well, Skibbereen moving out that way. I suppose the property will be divided into lots and the old house will be torn down.
How much money would you need to fix it up?
Much more than we have, I'm afraid.
Well, Dr. Ryan, looks like you spent the night within these hallowed walls.
Oh, yeah, more or less. Roger, have you seen Tom yet this morning?
Yeah, he was still out.
But Faith said he came around last night.
A minute or two, but no vision, of course.
What's your best estimate?
I mean, Tom's chances of regaining his sight?
Yeah.
1 in 5.
Well, his odds on surviving surgery weren't so good either.
I was never worried about losing him, but I was never sure about his sight.
Well, we should know something definite in the next few days.
Probably. Well, why the interest?
Because of Faith.
Oh.
Actually, Her reaction's predictable. I don't know why I'm surprised.
Well, she's displaying all the symptoms of a guilty conscience. In the aftermath of her idyllic vacation in the country, she allowed herself to admit that she never stopped loving you. And she also allowed herself to love you again. The problem is that Tom is not a psychotic killer.
That's about it.
Look, I'll say to you what I've said to her many times. My sister has a highly exaggerated sense of responsibility. Now, if it's working for you, everything is terrific, but if it's working against you, everything is a pain in the neck.
So if Tom's in long-term serious trouble, Faith's not about to walk away from him completely.
Well, you have an understanding of the situation.
Tom needs moral support. And it's likely he's going to need physical help. But that shouldn't come from Faith. She needs to make a clean break right now, or she'll never get away from him.
Would you take some advice?
Maybe.
Please don't lay that on her in so many words. I mean, in her present state of mind, she might think that you're being callous or devoid of compassion. Just let her sort things out for herself, okay?
I'm not in the habit of telling Faith what to do.
Good.
Roger, are you going to be around later this morning?
Yeah.
I've scheduled a complete workup for my aunt, and I'd appreciate a consult if you've got the time.
Certainly.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Take it easy, will you?
Now, we know how to take the bad with the good. And this isn't a day for long faces. Not with Francis going to the Senate and Patrick about to discover what's wrong with me.
When's your plane? Won't you and Johnny have to be getting ready?
I have to be getting ready. He's beginning to sound as Irish as you.
Oh, I've spent too much time in this family.
Oh, dear.
Querida Mama,
What?
have you decided what you're gonna wear yet?
Vickery, what?
Loosely translated, it's little old mother in Sicilian.
Oh, a little old mother, you. This little old mother is going to be wearing one of those creations that you've all become too familiar with from the rallying and the politicking this past fall.
Which looks nifty.
I'm sure you'll have a grand time.
Oh, they will. Visit Washington, the U.S. Senate, maybe even go to the White House.
Oh, yes.
Oh, anything can happen.
Yes.
Besides, the important thing is that it's going to be a great day.
Yes, it is. And it's going to be a good day for you, too. Because this is the day that you're finally going to have someone look at whatever's wrong with your hand and take care of it.
Yes.
Wonderful hospital, Riverside. I could tell you some things about it.
Oh, now, you're not going to try to cheer up Annie with some of those stories, those funny little stories that you have about Riverside. No, just spare yourself, please. It's the first time she's been to a hospital, and she's a little nervous about it.
No need to be. They'll have you as good as new in no time.
Oh, I'm sure.
Hello.
Ah, now there's the doctor.
I thought I'd come over and collect the patient and take her over to the hospital myself.
Oh, thank you, Patrick. That's very thoughtful of you.
Well, I'll walk along with you.
Oh.
See that you get settled in.
Maeve, there's no need for that. You have a plane to catch.
Now,
Well, she's going to give people ideas, don't you think?
oh, yes, please, don't argue with me. The children are going to get all those ideas.
Listen, I got a nice room for you, right across from the nurse's station. It's true. And you're going to get plenty of personal treatment.
Well, I wouldn't want anything to which I'm not entitled.
You're entitled.
They owe me a few favors, so it's going to be all right.
Well, I think I can accept that. Do you want us to be going right this instant?
Well, unless you're not ready.
No. No, I think I'd just as soon get it over with.
Here we go.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you for being so nice to me.
This way?
You lead and I'll follow.
We'll be back to visit you later.
I think I'd like that.
I'll be coming. Darling, I want to apologize for being sharp with you when you asked Annie what she was afraid of. Your instincts were better than mine. You did the very right thing. Bless you. I'm coming.
Well, how about that?
That was it. That was what I have waited and dreamed of my mother saying to me for years and years and years.
Glad it happened, even though it was a little overdue.
Doesn't matter. It's like a miracle. Wasn't that neat? Did you hear what she said to me, Jack? I was right. My instincts were better than hers. Oh. Jack.
Think you're making real progress.
Oh, dear God. Please. Please, don't let me do anything to mess this up.
Hi, I'm Tori Spelling. Grab your croissants and don't forget the latte. Spend the whole morning with me in bed.
Breakfast in Bed with the OC, One Tree Hill, and Beverly Hills 90210 every Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on SoapNet.